In addition, the Weso Fund has rolled out Gachagua'S Maju product, which we were working closely with the Ministry of Labor to support the labor mobility, where we are giving loans up to 200,000 Kenya shillings to successful applicants of the labor mobility program to support their air tickets, visa, and other attendance costs at zero interest rate with a one-off management fee of 8%. Number 3, the Kenya Industrial Estates has also provided over 464 million to affordable credit to 1,303 women entrepreneurs between the financial year 2019 to 2020 and 2024 to 2025 period. In addition, the Kenya Industrial Estates supports entrepreneurs' capacity building, industrial incubation, where 73 women-owned enterprises are currently on incubation in its facilities. KIE is also training hundreds of thousands of women in leadership, financial literacy through partnerships such as with the Stanbic Kenya Foundation and University of Nairobi Women Economic Empowerment Hub. Number 4, the Micro and Small Enterprises Authority, MSEA, has undertaken a wide range of intervention. This includes construction and equipping of the constituency industrial development centers, CIDCs, that currently accommodate 2,994 women entrepreneurs. It has facilitated over 4,540 women-led businesses to access markets through trade fairs and exhibitions, and disputed model equipment over 805 women entrepreneurs. In addition, tens of thousands of young women have been supported through the Kenya Youth Employment Opportunities Project. Number 5, in addition to that, the new National Youth Opportunity Towards Advancement, NYOTA, and the Kenya Jobs Economic Transformation, Gachagua'S project, being rolled out this financial year, targets both youth, who majority are young women, for economic empowerment through grants, training, and access to commercial infrastructure and market linkages, thereby strengthening women's participation in high potential value chains. For number B, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that women in the marginalized and remote areas are aware of available funding opportunities, the ministry is spearheading outreach and awareness initiatives through a multi-sectoral approach involving other ministries, departments and agencies, development partners, and private sector players. Honorable Speaker, the ministry has put in place a robust MSME ecosystem to ensure development, growth, and scalability of MSMEs. Whereas there are many existing interventions from government and private actors, their effectiveness has tended to be undermined by the silo manner of operations. The ministry has embraced the multi-sectoral approach to coordinate the sector and create more synergies and opportunities for leveraging the focus on MSME development. As a result, the ministry has established a public-private sector MSME dialogue known as MSME Connect. This initiative was launched on 14th March 2025, this year in Nairobi, and the plan is to go across the country and hold county-level forums that will converge local actors and discuss opportunities, address emerging challenges within the prevailing local context, and offer solutions. The next Kenya Public-Private Sector MSME Dialogue will be held in June this year in Embu County. Honorable Speaker, the ministry is embracing joint outreach programs through the sagas while working together with the county governments and national government administrative officers and respective officers to provide a comprehensive sensitization program that outlines opportunities in the entire ecosystem, including financing, capacity building, and market linkage. For instance, in April and May this year, teams from MSEA and Hustler Fund, Weser Fund, and KIE had a sensitization meeting in Kakamega County and Marsabit County, and they collaborated with the Ngao and the Office of the Advisor to the President on Women Affairs, Youth Enterprise Development Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, among others, to conduct awareness on the economic empowerment opportunities within and out of the government, including how to access government procurement opportunities program. Honorable Speaker, it is only through such coordinated approach that the majority of Kenyans at the bottom of the economic pyramid will be reached and linked to opportunities that grows and scales their enterprises. For number C, Honorable Speaker, the impact of the Hustler Fund on the women entrepreneurs has been considerable, with women accounting for 48% of over the 25 million total borrowers. In addition to enabling over 70 billion circulation into the economy, the fund has provided a credit card to its beneficiaries to enable them access credit line through a dignified manner. As of today, with a credit limit of 500 shillings, beneficiaries can confidentially have a fallback plan to meet their needs and avoid shame and fear that comes with borrowing. Good borrowers have had an opportunity to grow their credit limits, and as today we have beneficiaries who are borrowing up to a maximum of 150,000 Kenya shillings on the new bridging loan product. The saving component has mobilized over 4 billion in both voluntary and mandatory, promoting a saving consciousness among Kenyans as a de-risking mechanism to their livelihood. The credit history of all beneficiaries has been crystallized into a 9-band Hustler Fund behavioral rating system, ranging from A1 to C3, and this form excellent to this A1 is excellent to very poor rating of C3, respectively. We are institutionalizing the credit score towards market utilization to accord the high scorers a soft collateral that will unlock for them access to enhancing financing. Honorable Speaker, with respect to women, everybody agrees that they are good borrowers, and even the banks will tell you as much. However, the good borrowing attributes to women has not found its way to the banks to accord them a preferential access to financing. Our women, regardless of their good demonstration of good behavior, are still subjected to hard collateral such as land title deeds, pay slips, and properties, which most have no reach. The Hustler Fund rating will therefore institutionalize the collateralize these good borrowing attributes of women to inform their creditworthiness and eventually move to our credit market from fixation on hard collateral to soft behavior based to deepen financial inclusion at the bottom of the economic pyramid and enable majority of our people to be served. A comprehensive socioeconomic impact study is in the process to measure long-term effects. Plans to enhance the fund's support to women include introducing dynamic loan limits tied to individual repayment behavior and integrating savings and pension components to build long-term financial resilience among women borrowers. For the Honorable Speaker, the women entrepreneurs in Kenya, of which stem from structural inequalities and systems challenge. Among the most prevalent barriers are lack of collateral due to limited asset ownership, limited access to formal financial history, low level of financial literacy, high costs associated with registering and formalizing business, cultural and societal norms in some regions further restrict women's participation in enterprises. Informality remains a major issue as many women operate outside the formal financial system, which limits their ability to access credit. Honorable Speaker, the response to these economic barriers, the Ministry has deployed a variety of strategies as follows. One, I have already mentioned about Hustler Fund that has eliminated traditional requirements like collateral and credit history, offering loans based on mobile money profile and repayment behavior. It also promotes savings and retirement planning through embedded product features. Wealth Fund supports women participation in local leadership and decision-making by ensuring their representation in fund committees and has advocated for simplified business registration process, such for single business permits. The fund also emphasizes capacity building to improve women's readiness for entrepreneurship and market participation. Kenya Industrial Estates has introduced group guarantee loans using social collateral, allowing women without assets to access credit through mutual trust within groups. KIE also provides affordable credit with flexible repayment terms and supports mentorship, coaching, and exposure visas to strengthen business acumen. MSEA provides a direct grants in incubation in consistent industrial development centers, value chain integration, and targeted training. The proposed establishment of the Women in Business Unit within MSEA is a major policy shift aimed at institutionalized support for women, addressing access to finance, mentorship, ICT, and sustainable business development, while advocating for gender response policies and regulatory reforms. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry remains steadfast in its commitment to empowering women entrepreneurs and dismantling barriers to their full participation in Kenya's economy. Through the coordinated efforts of the state agencies, the Ministry has delivered impressive results and continues to scale efforts through grants, training, financial inclusion, market access, and infrastructure support. The Ministry is steadily building a more inclusive MSME sector where young and women are equipped, empowered, and resilient amid Kenya's evolving economic realities. Going forward, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry will strengthen the institutional framework for supporting women entrepreneurs and align these efforts with the national development priorities under the Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Thank you.
Now, we'll take question number 078 before we come to supplementary questions. Now, Honorable CS, you've already circulated your written response. Try to paraphrase so that we save on time. Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and welcome to the Senate, Honorable CS. I have 3 questions. What initiatives is a ministry undertaking to foster the growth and resilience of youth and women-led MSMEs amidst the current economic climate, and how are these programs aimed at improving the representation and benefits in the sector? Could the Cabinet Secretary indicate?
Honorable CS, you can take your seat before. When you're responding, then you can.
Okay.
Stand.
Could the Cabinet Secretary indicate when the Deposit Guarantee Fund and the integrated digital lending platforms for cooperatives will become operational? And could you please outline the measures in place to protect the members and to harmonize cooperative policies across counties to ensure consistent policy framework and promote intergovernmental cooperation? What measures are being implemented to ensure timely remittance of members' contributions to savings in SACCOs, especially in light of persistent financial mismanagement that, according to the government, has resulted in Kenya shillings 600 million in unpaid SACCO deductions from county governments and universities? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I think the first question that the member is asking, I've really responded to it. If she looked at my detailed response, that was fairly comprehensively covered. The issue of remittances to the SACCOs and other cooperatives, especially from the employers, this has been a challenge. And this has mainly affected county governments and universities. Those are the 2 major culprits within the government ecosystem that has frequently defaulted on remittances of members' deductions. As a ministry, we have very limited powers. The only powers that we have is for the Commissioner of Cooperatives. Commissioner of Cooperatives to write to them, to plead with them, to make contribution. And secondly, he has also the powers to conduct the banks of those who are defaulting to actually make sure that they remit their deductions. But sometimes the banks' hands are also tight, because if there are no remittances, then the banks have no money in their accounts to make the remittances. However, we have now the cooperative bill before the Senate, and we have outlined some of the ways that we need to institute so that members' remittances actually reach the SACCOs as required, where we involve even the control of budgets in case of remittances for the county government, and also even involve the treasury on the same.
Now, Senator Karen, you'll have an opportunity to ask 2 questions. And then also Senator Joyce Korir, you have an opportunity to ask 2 supplementary questions before I give your colleagues the floor. We start with Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I don't have any supplementary question, but just to thank the Honorable CS for a very elaborate answer that he has given. And I just want to say that, Honorable Speaker, a number of issues that he has raised, I think, answers the questions that was lingering in my mind. Otherwise, I want to say thank you and most welcome.
Senator Karen.
Mr. Honorable CS, you have indicated that 25 million Kenyans, translating to 48% of Kenyans who have borrowed from the Hustler Fund, are women. I would want a detailed, more detailed information on those loans, because we know on the onset, Kenyans used to borrow money from the Hustler Fund just to test if it works. And a lot of these loans were 500 shillings, maybe amounts that do not translate to the kind of empowerment that we're looking for the women. If we can have the details and the nature of these loans, is it group loans, is it individual loans, what are the amounts that women are accessing through the Hustler Funds? And on the Kenya Industrial Estates, you have elaborated very well what you're doing to empower women, and a lot of detail on the women. I've had nothing. You have not given any breakdown, similar breakdown that you have given on women. I have not seen it on the youth. And you know, right now, one of the biggest problems we have in this country is a youth unemployment. And these are some of the channels where youth can be useful in the economic activities. So can the CS give a similar breakdown on the efforts made towards the youth in this by KIE? Thank you.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the first one, where I said that the majority of borrowers are women, 48%, as you are aware, the Hustler Funds is a digital platform-operated systems, and these are the figures we get on daily basis. Mr. Speaker, if I was to bring a detailed list of the 48%, maybe you will not be able to carry it, because this is a digital system. However, I'm very much willing if the member can conduct me so that I take her through how we get these figures. And we have Safaricom as a service provider that gives us this information on daily basis. So if it means printing it to prove that...
Honorable CS, is this information contained in the ministry's website?
Yeah, it is.
Then
it is
contained.
It is contained in the website. It is even on my phone now. It's information that I can pass it to her, because this is the information we get on daily basis. So I can avail that, and I can even put you to be part of the WhatsApp so that you can get it on daily, or you can get it on daily basis. Secondly, on the issue of the youth, that is, I think, is another question. The question asked by Honorable Korir was actually on women. So if she needs details about the youth, I just mentioned the youth, by the way, to show that we are dealing with all vulnerable groups. But if she needs a detailed response on the youth, that is now another question, which I can deal with later, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable John Yutu. Honorable Onyonka. Honorable Oroba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a supplementary question on the issue of availability of funds to youth and women. And in your response, Waziri, you have said that in addition, the Uwezo Fund has rolled out Wezesha Kazi Maju product to support the labor mobility, where you're giving loans of up to 200,000 with 0 interest rate and 8% management fee. My question would be, how many people have successfully gotten these 200,000 loans? And how many of those who have been given the 200,000 are actually abroad working as we speak?
Senator Moses Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to welcome the expert to the Senate. He has talked about two initiatives. He has talked about the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, NYOTA, and the Kenya Jobs Economic Transformation Project, KJET. Mr. Speaker, the CS indicates that they are being rolled out this financial year. Whereas Kenyans are aware of the Hustler Fund, the pros and cons, and the Uwezo Fund, KJET and NYOTA are not very well known amongst Kenyans. Can the CS confirm whether it is possible to use these honorable senators as promoters and mobilizers for KJET and NYOTA? Because they aim at empowering and providing grants to young people at the grassroots. Now, can the CS also confirm that they will not also be using the networks of CDF and networks of county governments, which already have their funds? These senators are available, they are ready, they have networks across all polling stations in their jurisdictions. The CS could consider using the members of this House to promote and to roll out and to mobilize these two grants. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Sifuna. And Honorable Senators, you shall refer the CS as the Honorable CS and not by any other name.
I don't know why that directive is being given immediately. I take the mic, but I'll take it in stride. Honorable Speaker, you know, in his other life, the Cabinet Secretary and I used to agree on how this Hustler Fund needs to be treated. As of September of 2024, data from that ministry indicates that the default rate was up to 58%. That is about 14 out of the 24 million people who are borrowing on that platform are classified as defaulters. I want the Honorable CS, because in his other life he was very clear that we need to hold the President to his promise that this Hustler Fund was supposed to be a grant and not a loan, and that therefore the people who borrowed this money need not pay that money back. That was the position we held together with the CS. I want him to confirm, Honorable Speaker, what plans are there to make sure that the people who are listed as defaulters of this particular Hustler Fund are made to pay back this money, now that he has taken a diametrically opposite position, that this money needs to be paid back. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Senator Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I want to welcome the Cabinet Secretary to the Senate and be proud that if this is the kind of leaders from Mulembe Nation, led by Oparanya and Kalwale, then the Mulembe Nation is in safe hands. So, Speaker, my only... Mr. Speaker, I really want to ask from my brother CS, in this Hustler Fund package, what should be the aspect in ensuring that upcoming cooperative societies like Kipsiele Cooperative Societies, Chapter 8 Women Star, Kapsaos Coffee Cooperative, Kapkulumben Cooperative Society, Lesos Farmers Cooperative Society, and Kabunyeria Farmers Cooperative Society, among others in Nandi County, is there a specific package that the Hustler Fund can give to these cooperative societies so that, Mr. Speaker, it can jumpstart and ensure that we don't only capture societies and youth groups and women groups in Nairobi, but also the people from the, what we call under the President's agenda of bottom-up economic model, Mr. Speaker. And I want to ask the CS not to fear Sifuna was told off by Raila over the weekend, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senator Fernandi. Honorable Senator Fernandi, you are out of order. Okay? And I'll give you your first question for the day. Senator for Kericho, the majority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a question with regards to the financial inclusion product, which the Cabinet Secretary responded to in this first part of the question, otherwise known as the Hustler Fund. And for the record, to the best of my knowledge, the President never promised a grant. Please, Speaker.
Senator Fernandi. Senator Fernandi. Senator Fernandi, you're out of order. And you proceed in that manner, I will have to ask you to leave the House. Proceed, the majority leader.
Thank you. The people who promised 6,000 one-off as a grant, Mr. Speaker, are known. Hustler Fund, Mr. Speaker, and the minister is here, will confirm to us from the get-go. Everybody who borrowed knew that the scheme is that you borrow, pay, you build a credit history, and are able to grow your limit. The question that I have for the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, is if we can have a record, you can provide it now or later, of what is the approximate number of Kenyans that borrow on a daily basis currently, Mr. Speaker, and that are active on this platform, so that we are able to know how they are able to achieve this figure of 70 billion. Mr. Speaker, that's not a small amount. In fact, there are only 2 or 3 banks in this country that can lend out such a similar amount out there. Therefore, it will be important for this House to know how many ordinary citizens borrow and pay on a daily basis from the Cabinet Secretary. I thank you for this chance.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I welcome the CS and our senior brother once more. My question is, Honorable Speaker, to the CS, what percentage of the funds lent, especially of the Hustler Fund, has become bad debt? And Honorable CS, now that we are in broad-based, is it possible that you can pay the 6,000 shillings that was promised to Kenyans as in our manifesto? Thank you.
Senator Miraj. Senator Miraj. Order, honorable senators. Senator Miraj, proceed.
Asante mstahiki Spika, na mimi nimkaribishe waziri na nimpongeze kwa kufika kwa wakati. Swali langu kwake ni kwamba kuna jinamizi jipya limechipuka katika taifa letu la Kenya, jinamizi la watoto wetu kuweza kucheza kamari. Na kuna ushahidi ya kwamba pesa nyingi zinazochukuliwa katika mifuko hii ya hazina za fedha inaenda kutumika katika hali ambazo sizo za malengo ya hazina hizi za fedha. Je, kuna mikakati gani katika wizara yetu kuhakikisha kwamba tunafuatilia utekelezaji wa ruwaza wa hazina hizi za pesa? Nikimaanisha kuna mikakati gani ya kuhakikisha kwamba pesa zinazochukuliwa zinafanywa biashara na zinastawisha vipi uchumi wa serikali kama ilivyokuwa malengo ya rais wetu wakati alipokuwa anataka kuweka hazina hii ya fedha, ili tuone kwamba kuna sera ya kuona kwamba anayechukua hizi fedha anaenda kuyafanyia yale malengo ambayo anaombea na haendi kutumia kwa mihadarati na hata kujiingiza katika jinamizi la kamare. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My question is also on the same Hustler Fund, and because the CS in charge now is an expert from ODM, has the ministry done a legal impact assessment of the Hustler Fund, Mr. Speaker? Because it seems to me that we don't know where this Hustler Fund is being invested, and we don't know who are borrowing this Hustler Fund. Is there even intention by the ministry to publish a proper impact assessment of areas that this money has gone, which people have borrowed, and to what extent have they transformed their business, Mr. Speaker? Because, Mr. Speaker, where I come from, one of the people I hoped would have borrowed from this FASLA fund, Mr. Speaker, is the border industry, which we are given to be about 1.5 million people in our borders today, Mr. Speaker. But the border industry is still going to very expensive solutions in terms of people who are in the marketplace, giving them, Mr. Speaker, these loans at almost 60%, Mr. Speaker. If you look at what the border are getting, even in terms of just the deposit that they're given to give to these funds, like What to Credit, Mogo, Progressive, they have to give sometimes up to 60,000, Mr. Speaker. And then within 3 years, they try to pay these funds. The border is depleted, is depreciated, but then they don't have even the border itself, Mr. Speaker. So who are these people borrowing from ASLA fund? Who are these ASLAs? Can the minister table to us at the right time an impact assessment that is legally done as an expert that he is from ODM to show the country what has happened in that ASLA fund?
Senator Mgatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In your response, Waziri, when you are asked about how you have gone out of your way to explain the opportunities that exist for women by the Honorable Joyce Korir, especially in remote and underprivileged areas, you said that you have taken a multi-sectoral approach and you have gone to other places, and you gave the example of Marsabit and Kakamega. Now, in this Senate, we have 47 counties, Mr. Speaker. Now, 2 out of 47 is 4.25%. The question I wanted to ask you as a follow-up is, when are you coming to Tana River? When are you going to the rest of the other counties? Which program, when are you rolling out this program so that we can host you in our various counties to explain these opportunities to the other people? You did not tell us that program. It just ended that you've given Marsabit and Kakamega. We want to hear when you will be coming to the rest of the counties. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, before I answer the supplementary questions, I think members are very much interested in Hustler funds. And I want to commit myself, Mr. Speaker, that you can set aside time that I can come and meet the members out of the normal session so that we are able to explain in detail how Hustler Fund is working and how it can help the members, also the members, your members from your constituencies who helped you to come to this house. So if you will give me that opportunity, I will avail myself, Mr. Speaker, to do that. But on the issue of labor mobility, we are working with the Ministry of Labor, and I saw the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Labor was here. We are working, and our role is actually to provide finances. So the entire selection, the entire identification of the opportunities that are there overseas is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. So as soon as they identify those particular people, they just forward a list with the documents, necessary documents, to prove that these people actually have got a job overseas and they have the necessary documentation to travel and they have a letters of appointment, then we facilitate them. So far, we have facilitated 200.
Order, Honorable Senators. May we hear the Honorable CS in total silence?
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 200 268.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
268 Kenyans.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi. I thought you're the one who asked these questions. Proceed, Honorable CS.
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268, but this, to know where they have gone, if they have not gone, that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. My role is just to get a list with the necessary documents from the Ministry of Labor, and then we facilitate the financing. And my responsibility ends there. To know who went, who never went, where they are going, that information can be availed from the Ministry of Labor. On the issue of Nyota and KJ, honorable members, this is a very important initiative that you as members of parliament, you should get aware of, because this is a joint initiative with the Kenya government, with the World Bank, and it involves about 33 billion Kenya shillings. Already sensitization program is going on. Unfortunately, the sensitization program is going on with the members of the National Assembly because the selection of the beneficiaries is based on wards. So they thought that members of parliament would be the best ones with the member of the county assemblies, so that these people are sensitized to apply, and you have to apply on your phone. It's a digital application process. So unfortunately, the members of National Assembly have been sensitized, they are aware of it, and unfortunately the Senate have not been properly included. And I want also to commit myself that you are members of parliament, so you must be aware of what is happening. And I also commit myself that given opportunity, because this is a very important initiative, I'm ready to come and actually sensitize you or take you through the program. On the issues raised by my Secretary General, Mrs. Funa, I don't remember. I know we were in the same boat that time. Yeah, but I never heard of this money being a grant. That was the truth. I only was in the same boat when we were saying that this money should not be paid. But now I'm in a different boat. I'm saying that Kenyans who have borrowed this money should pay. Because I feel that this money is a good initiative that will help many Kenyans. Unfortunately, when such initiatives come up after an election, members of the public think that they are being rewarded. And that's why we had so many defaulters when the fund started. But let me assure members of parliament who are here that we are working on a system where we will ensure that this amount is recovered so that more Kenyans benefit from this money. But please note that out of the 20 million Kenyans that started borrowing from this fund, 2 million of them have proved to be good borrowers. And these good borrowers, we have introduced a bridging loan. These are the people who have been given a good limit, a better limit for them to borrow up to 150,000. So out of the 20 million, 2 million have been promoted to what we call a bridging loan, so they can be able to access this fund at 150,000. And let me tell you that this fund is working very well. It is helping many Kenyans despite the initial problems that we had. On the issue of Hustler Fund helping cooperative, Hustler Fund is a different product. It's a digital we use a digital platform to use your phone. You do not interact with any individual. So it will be difficult to take that particular fund again, divert it to cooperatives. However, in the Cooperative Bill 2024 that is before the Senate, there is a provision of creating a cooperative development fund. And it is through that fund that now, based on how you will pass it here, that is the fund that we will use to support cooperative specifically. And it will be a levy collected from cooperatives, also government allocation to that fund, so that now we can scale up the operations of most cooperatives, especially those in the critical value chain. The issue of providing records, I've clearly said here, providing records of Hustler Fund. I've clearly said here, Hustler Fund is a digital platform facility. If you want a printout, I can do it. But if you go to our website, it will show you how it is operated. But I have committed myself that Hustler Fund is a critical fund that I think it helps a lot of Kenyans, that I will come here and explain to members so that they know how this fund is working. So I know there are bad debts. I've admitted myself that there are bad debts, and we're working to see how that can be recovered. But one member said that I paid the 6,000. 6,000 was a promise by Asmio, and as you know, Asmio lost the election, so maybe you organize yourself so that if Asmio comes into power, if they have a chance of coming into power, then they can be able to pay for the 6,000, to pay for the 6,000 shillings. But we are in the Kenya Kwanza government. They have their own priorities, and since we are now under the broad-based, we are now working towards those agenda of theirs. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of us knowing how these funds are used, because one member of Parliament here mentioned the issue of Kamari. With the Hustler Fund, it will be difficult for us as a ministry to follow what the individual use that money. But other funds like Kenya Industrial Estates, KIE, those ones we are able to follow, we are able to monitor and make respective reports, because this is targeted money to make sure that it is given to entrepreneurs. Those entrepreneurs use it properly, they pay back with interest of 8%, is a specific period, and is supposed to help the entrepreneurs to grow, to create more employment. So that will be easier to monitor, and that's what we do. Weso Fund, we do the same, but Hustler Fund, it will be difficult. On the question of Eddie, about the legal impact, let me assure you that we are in the process of doing that. We have commissioned a consultant to help us come up with the impact assessment of Hustler Fund. But I want to assure you that Hustler Fund is operated by two private service providers. That is Safaricom and Kenya Commercial Bank. Kenya Commercial Bank is the custodian of funds, but the operation is carried out by Safaricom. So we are in the process of carrying out an impact assessment, and I'm hopeful that in the near future we will give you a report on that. On the last one raised by my friend Mungatana, I just gave Kakamega as one example that where we were 2 weeks ago. Next Friday, we are going to Marsabit, and we have a whole program involving 47 counties. I will let you know when we are coming to Tana River, and I will appreciate if you are around so that we are able to speak one language.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary. I think we have come to the end of the session with the Cabinet Secretary. Senator Dulo, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I had requested to ask questions from the beginning. Up to now, I was not given an opportunity. And I came to consult the previous speaker. Please allow me to ask one question on the county government.
Senator Dulo, I have not been informed that you and Senator Onyonko had requested, but if you're talking about your name appearing on the schedule, there were several senators before you. And now, because of time, we had actually set a time to finish with the CS at 11. So if we could please allow... Okay, Senator Dulo and Senator Onyonka, I will allow you, but not less than a minute. Huh?
I can have that.
Oh, Senator Onyonka, I'm being informed that you were called and you were not here, so your name was dropped. Senator Dulo, ask your question very quickly, in less than a minute. Unfortunately, your name was called, you were on the schedule, and you were not present. Allow Senator Dulo to ask the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, I have a problem with my gadget, and I had contacted the previous speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask a question on trade budget within the counties. Mr. Speaker, counties normally budget for trade, more specifically for women empowerment, youth empowerment, and PWD's empowerment. Unfortunately, most of the counties, they have not come up with a legal framework to utilize that particular budget. At the end of the financial year, that budget is reallocated to other activities when our women, our youth, and PWDs are suffering within those counties. I wanted to ask you, CS, are you in touch with the county governments to ensure that that budget is utilized properly to help our people on the ground? I thank you.
Senator Onyonka, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. CS, I would like to say I'm happy to see you in this house. My question is, your government, which you proudly appreciated today, KK, has said that all the funds were going to be collapsed so that we could have either one or two funds which will be run through either the outfit that you've been talking about or any other. Have you come up with strategies on how you're going to collapse all the funds that exist in our republic? Because we believe that many of those funds are duplicating and being misused and confusing, so that for the public to benefit as much as they're supposed to benefit. That was the question, Mr. Speaker.
Cabinet Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, the first question, supplementary question about county governments budgeting for trade. Unfortunately, as a CS, I have no control over the budget of the county governments. But what we do as a national government, in most of these sensitization programs, we involve the official of the counties to know what we are doing at the national level, so that they can also be part of the system. And there will be something for them to learn, as you know very well that most of these counties have not matured enough, so they have something to learn from the national government. On the issue raised by Honorable Nyonga, already there is recommendation that has been passed already by the cabinet that all these funds, the initiative is the same, whether it is involving women, whether it is involving the youth, whether it's involving people living with disability, the aim is the same. So it has been already passed that these funds be put together under Biashara Fund, and the process is still going on, and it will come before you for approval. But the process is going on, stakeholders are being consulted, how this can happen, and it will end up in this House.
Thank you very much, CS. Thank you for coming today and answering the questions. We want to wish you all the best, and just to request that since you've seen how much interest there is in your ministry, that you try to keep your office open and engage the senators continuously, Bwana CS. But otherwise, we will give you leave, and thank you very much for appearing.
Thank you.
Honorable Senators, we're waiting for the CS Health so that we can proceed with the question time. Let me inform Honorable Senators, we seem to have a problem with the CS. I'm being informed that the CS had scheduled another meeting with the committee at the National Assembly at the same time with the plenary here. So the delay is because he's still stuck at the National Assembly. It's unfortunate, and I think it borders on contempt. Yes, Senator Kalwale.
Do you recheck the information that you have just given the House? While seated where I am, Mr. Speaker, I've been speaking to the Minister of Health, the Honorable Duale. I've also talked to Muriuki, her PS. They have both confirmed to me that they are on the way. They are coming for this session and not in the National Assembly. By the time I was talking to them, they were in the office. It must be around 8 to 15 minutes ago. I've been talking to them now. So can you recheck that? It is inconceivable that the minister would go to the National Assembly when he has confirmed that he's coming here this morning, up to and including the conversation that I'm referring to, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Kalwale, that is the impression that we also had, that the CS was here and he would be appearing. But the clerks have checked and the Sergeant at Arms has checked. He is not at the waiting area where he's supposed to be. And that's why we have this delay. Senator Enoch, yes, what is your point of order?
The Speaker, it's getting worse. It's really getting worse. Last week, we had a similar situation with CS Treasury when he communicated, when we were already assembled, that he was not going to be attending. Now, it's even worse. We are waiting for him, the CS Health. The last minute, he's supposed to be on his way here, but then it's suddenly he is attending another committee of the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, these games must come to an end. These games really must come to an end, Mr. Speaker. The CS must be brought to this House to respond to the questions that members have asked. If he has to make a choice between going to the National Assembly and coming to the Senate, health is a devolved function. He will have to come here and then make arrangements to meet members of the lower house at another time. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker,
proceed, Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, why is the majority leader heckling? Because you have given me the mic, I think you should allow me to say what I wanted to say. I promise to be... Honorable Speaker, fortunately for the majority leader, I was directed by my party leader to be nicer. And I'm going to try my best. So I am not going to respond to his heckling today because I have been put on a regime where waliniambia nitoe pilipili moja. It's okay, Honorable Speaker. In the morning, I was called by the MCA Fongara, the Honorable Chege Maura, and he wanted my assistance with his people there who are being evicted in this rain by the Nairobi County government alleging rent arrears. I told the MCA, and unfortunately or fortunately, he had put me on speaker with the people, that I could not go to Ngara because I have a question here pending for the Cabinet Secretary for Health. Honorable Speaker, in fact, I have looked at the question that I was supposed to ask and the response that came from the ministry. There is specific documentation that he has said that I needed to supply. This is regarding the death of a young man who was a student at Kibera Secondary. Honorable Speaker, this is regarding compensation. So I came here purposely so that I can hand these documents to the CS. I hope he's the one walking in. Yeah, so if he has arrived, then we need to proceed. But these games, Waziri, they must come to an end. Because just a minute. Honorable Speaker, please allow us to speak, Majority Leader. I am on the floor. Why are you heckling us? Why are you heckling us? This is not your house. Leader, this is not your house.
Majority
it is a house
Leader.
for all of us.
Majority
and the
Leader.
information that we have comes from the Speaker.
Majority
Honorable
Leader.
You can't heckle us all the time. Can
Majority
you throw him
Leader.
out? Honorable
Majority
Speaker.
Leader. Order. Order.
Bwana.
Order.
No,
Order,
Honorable Speaker,
order.
this is unacceptable.
Order, Senator.
Even if I was asked to be nicer, I will
Order,
not
Senator.
allow this provocation to continue.
You started heckling. Okay, then let's stop it at there. Let him finish and listen to him in silence. Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, how is it in order for somebody who's younger than me to call himself my elder? We in which society? And in this particular house, Honorable Speaker, there is nothing like seniority coming from how old you are. It is what is in your brain. It is what is in your head. So you can't come here heckling and telling us you are senior to us, Honorable Cheriot. You are just lucky that I have been directed to be nice. Otherwise, you would have seen the full wrath of Edwin Sifuna. Honorable Speaker, I want these demons who have been sent to tempt me to break the directive by my party leader to depart from me. Leave me alone. Honorable Speaker, therefore, now that I have seen the CS, I will take my seat because it was very critical. But as Senator Wambua has said, the communication to this house comes...
He was on the floor of the house.
Yeah,
Can you
please.
allow him to finish? Senator
Can you throw
Cheriot.
this guy out? Is
Senator
Senator
Cheriot.
Cheriot above the law? Is Senator Cheriot above the law, Honorable Speaker?
Order, senators.
He can't heckle like this.
Order,
He can't heckle
order,
like
senators.
This. He can't heckle like this.
Order, senators. Order. He's addressing his issue now. Can we allow him to finish? Let's listen to the senator in silence. Senator Sifuna, just conclude.
Honorable Speaker, it is very unfair. If it was Senator Sifuna behaving like this heckler from Kericho, I would have been thrown out by now. I would have been thrown out by now. I would have been thrown out by now. Can you apply the rules equally? No, apply the rules equally. Apply the rules equally. Honorable Speaker, I wanted to say lastly, no, throw him out, Bwana. One is he above the law? He's not above the law. He's not above the law. You are not above the law, Senator Cheriot. No.
Senator Sifuna, Senator Sifuna,
let me conclude.
Before you conclude, there's a point of order. Before you conclude, Senator Cheriot, what is your point of order?
How can somebody who is out of order be given a point of order? He is already out of order. How can he stand up unless the point of order is against himself?
Honorable senators. Senator Cheriot, take your seat.
I thought we have senators here.
Take your seat, Senator. Take order, senators. Order, senators. Senators. The CS is already here. We are going to go to and proceed to question time. And we will cease. We will not. Senator Cheriot, take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat, Senator. Take your seat. 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 Senator Cheriot, I will find you grossly out of order. You started heckling. You were heckling against him. You did not behave orderly yourself, Senator Cheriot. You were not orderly. You started heckling and Senator Cheriot, you started heckling and I let you. I did not bring you to order. You will now, I will find you grossly out of order. All the time when Senator I was going to give you a point of order so that you can respond. But you were not behaving orderly. So I have to put a stop to this and we go to question times. That is it, senators. We are starting with the questions. Honorable senators, Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I was requesting understanding on the number 1 and standing on the 101. You heard Senator Sifuna say it's heckler. Can it be expunged from the record of the House so that we protect the dignity of the member, Mr. Speaker? That's my indulgence. No, Mr. Speaker, you need to rein on Senator Sifuna. He cannot be heckling everybody. He needs to behave. Yes. Can you kindly, Mr. Speaker?
Senator Sifuna, order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr.
Order.
Speaker, understanding order number 1, can you kindly expunge the word referring Senator Cheruiyot as a heckler? That's what you are just requesting. Then the matter rests there.
Honorable senators, I want to bring this matter to an end. Yes, I did, for a matter of fact, I did not refer to Senator Cheruiyot as a heckler. I said he was heckling in the House. But Senator Sifuna, you did refer to the senator as a heckler, which is out of order. If you could withdraw that and apologize.
Honorable Speaker, you are determined to turn me back into the old me. You yourself have said he was heckling. A person who heckles is a heckler. That is what you call him. Senator Cheruiyot of Kericho was heckling me. He's a heckler. You yourself have made that decision. I will not allow anyone to bully me in this house. I did not come here because of Cheruiyot's graces. I was elected by the people of Nairobi. He's not bigger than anyone in this house.
Senator Sifuna.
If you cannot throw Senator Cheruiyot out for the misbehavior, then there are no rules in this house. There are no rules in this house.
What's your point of order, Senator Cherargei? Give him the mic.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you cannot allow, Mr. Speaker, you cannot, Mr. Speaker, you cannot allow the House to be overrun. You are in charge. Mr. Speaker, I'm inviting you to standing order 121 and 122, which says a senator commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the senator defies a ruling or direction of the Speaker or chairperson of committees. So Senator Sifuna is totally out of order. He must be thrown to face consequence of standing order 121 and 22 so that this House can proceed, Mr. Speaker. He has defied your direction.
Senator,
he must be thrown out.
Senator Sifuna. Senators, let us conclude this. Let us conclude. Let us conclude. Senator Sifuna. Order, senators. Senator Hamida, order. Cherargei, order. Order. Senator Sifuna. The point of order that Senator Cherargei has raised is a valid point of order. As the chair, I did direct you. Even though Senator Cheruiyot has said he's not even looking for you to withdraw and apologize. But as the chair, I had already given a ruling. So for the sake of sanity and so that we can proceed, just withdraw so that it does not appear that you called Senator Cheruiyot a heckler. Just withdraw, Senator Sifuna. Senator Sifuna. Senator Sifuna. Just withdraw so that we can proceed. Senator Kajwang. Yes, Senator Kajwang, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, there is a reason why we want to position ourselves as the upper house. The CS for Health, and allow me just 1 minute to say this, was a leader of majority in the other house. He was extremely contemptuous to this house. And we cannot conduct ourselves in a manner that affirms the kind of contempt he used to show to this house. Instead of us pointing fingers at ourselves, we should be condemning the CS for keeping us waiting. Mr. Speaker, we have had children sitting in the gallery, children that you have invited, seeing the leader of this house behaving in a manner that is beneath those children. Mr. Speaker, the initial request was to expunge certain statements from the Hansard. And Mr. Speaker, I think that is fair enough. If they can be expunged, let us not push these things of apologies because we are now getting into brittle egos, Mr. Speaker. I urge you to direct this house and to take control of this house so that we can train our guns on the cabinet secretary rather than on ourselves. Please, let this house remain the upper house. Let this house be a house of decorum.
Honorable senators. Honorable senators. Order, senators. Order. I'm not giving you to speak, Oroba. I'm not giving anybody to speak. Order, senators. Oroba, order. We are going to proceed to question time. I'm not going to take any more points of orders. Can we proceed to question number 22 by Senator Tom Ojienda? Senator Tom Ojienda, ask your question.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the last time we were at the funeral of the late member for Kasipul, Senator Sifuna was told to stop what is done today. But let me move. Mr. Speaker.
Order, senators. Order. Order, senators.
Let me move to my question, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, put your question.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, let me move to question number 22, addressed to the Senator.
Order, senators. Order.
No.
Order. Let's listen to the question in silence.
Mr.
Senator,
Speaker,
proceed.
To ask question number 22, addressed to the CS Health. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain the terms of the engagement between personnel from the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the Ministry of Health in the ongoing registration of Kenyans to the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF? 2, what are the specific roles of the personnel in the registration process, and could the Cabinet Secretary indicate if they are receiving extra incentives, and if so, state the amounts they are being paid? Part C, Mr. Speaker, of the question, could the Cabinet Secretary clarify whether the established guidelines for the operations of the personnel to ensure that vulnerable persons, particularly the poor and elderly, are not coerced or unduly influenced to register for the program? Mr. Speaker, that is part 1. Those are part 1, 2, and 3 of question number 22. Yes, I confirm receipt of the responses. Cabinet Secretary could proceed.
Cabinet Secretary, please welcome.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, honorable senators. Speaker, if you allow me, on a light touch, the honorable senator for Homa Bay, that I had, in my old days, I had points of legislative difference, but I had no contemptuous for the Senate. I'm a person who believes in devolution, and I have a lot of respect even now for Senate. I want to confirm that, and to all senators and members of parliament. Coming to the question by the honorable senator for Kisumu, Honorable Chair, the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination, through its national government administration officers, plays a vital role in coordinating national government functions at the county level. Among their key responsibilities is identification and mobilization of citizens for national and civic registration. Notably, Gachagua'S, as they are known, have been instrumental in advancing the implementation of the Social Health Authority, having successfully registered 12 million households during the initial phase of the rollout of the universal health coverage. As of 12th May 2025, registration stands at 22,199,252. Honorable Speaker, every day, save for Saturday and Sunday, between 40 to 50,000 Kenyans register voluntarily. Honorable Speaker, in relation to their terms of engagement, the national government administration officers have been responsible for the following functions. They help us coordinate UHC registration, and we leverage on their extensive network across all the 47 counties. Gachagua'S is spearheading the registration of Kenyans into Social Health Authority. They help us in community sensitization. They are playing a very vital role in educating communities about the transition from NHIF, defined NHIF, to SHA, addressing the misconceptions and encouraging active participation in the registration process. Honorable Speaker, they help our members. They help us in monitoring and reporting, both at the regional and the county commissioners are tasked with the daily monitoring of registration progress and working together with the community health promoters and other health care workers. They submit regular reports to ensure that the attainment of the 12 million households target. And finally, they help us in community engagement. Gachagua'S are actively engaging with the communities to dispel misinformation and promote understanding of the benefits of UHC, thereby encouraging widespread participation in the registration process. Honorable Speaker, in terms of engagement strategy, by utilizing the extensive network, similar to the previous successful registration of farmers for the subsidized fertilizer program, the Social Health Authority was able to quickly reach out to Kenyans, even in remote areas, and provide them with information on how to register for the program. Still on the same question, Honorable Speaker and Senators, the Senators sought to know what are the specific roles of the personnel in the registration process and if they are receiving extra incentives. Honorable Speaker and members of the Senate, while Gachagua'S officers are playing a critical role in the SHA transition through mobilization and sensitization of registration process, they are not receiving any additional allowances beyond their regular salaries. Their involvement is considered part of their official duties. Honorable Speaker, the government strategy is to leverage on the extensive network of Gachagua'S to reach communities at grassroots level and educate them about the benefit of UHC. Honorable Speaker, finally on this question, the Honorable Senator for Kisumu sought clarifications on whether there are established guidelines for the operation of the personnel to ensure vulnerable persons, particularly the poor and the elderly, are not coerced or unduly influenced to register for the program. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Senators, to ensure ethical and inclusive environment, the government has established guidelines to prevent coercion or undue influence, particularly among vulnerable population. 2, the registration process is designed to be accessible and user-friendly, with various options available to the individuals. The options include the USS code registration, the online registration, the in-person registration and at designated centers, the use of the community health workers, the registration that we have created for teenage mothers, among others. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Senators, by providing multiple channels, the government aims to reach all segments of the population, including the elderly and those in remote areas. Additionally, public awareness campaigns are being conducted to educate the public about the benefits of UHC and the importance of timely registration. The Social Health Insurance Regulations 2023, and I want to thank this House for helping me through the Committee on Delegated Legislation of the Senate to articulate, that law articulates the registration process described above. Honorable Speaker, moving to question 30, sought by the Senator for Kisumu on the analysis of the financial implications and the benefits of the 3 funds under the Social Health Authority vis-à-vis the former defunct NHIF. My response is as follows. The Social Health Insurance is established under the Social Health Insurance Act of 2023, which this House has passed and which repealed the NHIF Act number 9 of 1988. The Social Health Authority, Honorable Speaker and Senators, has 3 funds, namely the primary...
Secretary, sorry to stop you. Senator Professor Jenda had not asked the second question, his second question. If you could allow him to ask the question so that you can proceed.
Thank you. But I can ask question 030. Question 30, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a comparative analysis of the financial implications and insurance package benefits of the 3 funds under SHA vis-à-vis the defunct NHIF for individuals in the formal and informal sectors? 2, what is the justification for the mandatory migration of details of NHIF contributors to SHA? And could the CS outline any measures put in place to ensure that data protection laws were not violated in the process? Part C, Mr. Speaker, could the Cabinet Secretary explain the measures put in place to guarantee comprehensive year-round health coverage for entire households to prevent depletion of insurance package benefits by individual members? And lastly, what challenges at NHIF, and this is the part that is key, necessitated the transition to SHA? And could the CS explain the rationale behind the establishment of those funds so that Kenyans can understand? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, Cabinet Secretary.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker, I thought I was answering the both questions asked by the Senator 22 and 30. But let me now answer 30. The Social Health Authority is established under the Social Insurance Act 2023, which this House has passed, and which repealed the NHIF Act number 9 of 1988. The Social Health Authority has 3 funds: the Primary Health Care Fund, the Social Insurance Fund, and the Emergency Chronic and Critical Illness Fund. These funds ensure the full spectrum of health care is given attention from the point of prevention, promotion, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative care. Honorable Speaker and members, from the onset, allow me to state that in terms of access under SHA, Kenyans can access free primary care by just registering as a member. For NHIF to access any benefits, one had to register and pay monthly premiums, leaving those who have not paid with no benefits for them. And in this regard, accessibility of primary health care to all Kenyans who have registered or with registration will address up to 70% of the health burden under the universal provision of primary health care to ensure that in totality we attain full universal health coverage. Let me make it very clear, Honorable Speaker, that from level 2 to level 4 of the primary health care, Kenyans, all they need to do is to register. It's free. You can walk to any dispensary. You can walk to any health center. You can walk to any sub-county hospital. As long as you are registered with SHA, the government of Kenya, through a budgetary allocation, will pay for it. And we are working around the clock, and I will answer, I'm sure members will ask me. We are increasing the refill of KEMSA to 100% so that Kenyans need to go to these centers. And all that they need to do is, once they are treated, that facility will bill the Social Health Insurance Authority. Honorable Speaker, allow me now to highlight on the specific benefits of the three funds as compared to NHIF on various benefits categories provided under each fund. And let me start with the Primary Health Care Fund. In the Primary Health Care Fund, let me pick on the outpatient services. Honorable Speaker, in relation to outpatient services, SHA focuses on preventive, promotive, curative care services, and palliative care. Members are not limited and can access health services within the primary care network. There is no need to pre-select your health facility. You don't need to select. You can be in Kisumu, and the next day you are in Kakamega or in Garissa and visit any health facility as long as it's registered with the SHA. So there's no need to pre-select health facility, as the patients are free to go to any SHA-contracted facility when they fall ill in any part of our country. Comprehensive services provided include health education, diagnosis, treatment, essential laboratory investigation, basic radiology, and chronic disease management. Honorable Speaker, comparing this with the fund NHIF, NHIF only focused on curative care. And I've said earlier, this now has changed. We care more about promotive, preventive, and rehabilitative care. So NHIF was only dealing with curative care. Access to service by the former defunct NHIF was limited to a specific choice of a facility, therefore, limiting the members or our citizens from accessing services in case they fall sick when they are away from their selected facilities or facilities of their home counties or home constituents or wards. Services are limited to 4 visits per card per year in particular facilities, and to basic services such as consultation, laboratory investigation, and only minor surgeries. That was what was in the previous NHIF. From the foregoing, Honorable Speaker and Senators, undoubtedly, the Social Health Authority offers a broader range of outpatient services with the focus on comprehensive care, making it more valuable for managing chronic conditions and preventive care. Honorable Speaker and members of the Senate, let me go to the optical services. In the respect of optical services, SHA provides a more comprehensive optical care package with a focus on preventive and corrective services, making it more beneficial for the long-term eye health management of our people. Honorable Speaker, the services will now include eye health education, eye examination, basic eye medication, and if need be, eye surgical procedures. Honorable Speaker, it is good to note that these services were not offered by the defunct NHIF, which had only 20% of our citizens. Let me go to the Social Health Insurance Fund. Inpatient, what do they provide? Under the Social Health Insurance Fund, in relation to the outpatient care, SHA provides more comprehensive inpatient care with a clear structure for different levels of facilities and longer coverage duration. Honorable Speaker and Senators, critical care service now covered includes, among others, ICU at a rate of 28,000 a night, HDU, and palliative inpatient care. The expanded coverage also include pre-admission evaluation, hospital accommodation, specialist consultation, post-discharge follow-up, and has a limit of 180 days per household. Honorable Speaker, if you compare this with the NHIF, as the member has sought, NHIF only catered for a negotiated daily repeat charge negotiated between a healthcare provider and the NHIF. The patient was nowhere found. It was between the NHIF and the healthcare provider. The NHIF also only covered treatment in government, mission, and some private hospitals, with the limited based on health categories. So the number of health facilities you can visit was limited. Let me come to maternity and neonatal care. Honorable Speaker, in respect of the maternity and neonatal care, SHA offers more inclusive maternity care, covering a wide range of service and ensuring that aftercare for both mothers and child. This package is not only limited to maternal care during pregnancy, but it covers the whole comprehensive package. Honorable Speaker, under SHA, maternity and neonatal care has now been expanded. It has an expanded scope of antenatal and postnatal care that entails how we manage complications, including critical care for both mother and the newborn. It is our moral and constitutional duty that as a country, using SHA, we reduce both the death, the maternal mortality of both the mother and the newborn. It has also incorporated services that were under the Linda Mama cover and enhanced it from a delivery of Kenya shillings 5,000 to a reimbursement of 10,000, which constitute about 100% increment for normal delivery and 30,000 for cesarean. Mr. Speaker, just to demonstrate, the honorable members who are members of SHA and who have an extra comprehensive insurance cover given by the Parliamentary Service Commission. The chair, for example, the speaker sitting today, his house girl or houseboy, or his house girl, for example, let me pick that, will go to Pumani Hospital, deliver, 30,000 paid, and walk away without paying a cent, even for cesarean. The speaker, if his wife goes to go and deliver in Aga Khan, SHA will pay 30. His other contribution, medical cover, will pay the 170, because Aga Khan is 200, Pumani is 30. But the same speaker sitting here can also ask his wife to join his house girl to go and deliver, like the rest of Kenya, in Pumwani, and walk out with a baby. So the choice is the same. So we are caring for your house girl, but if the speaker and Speaker Kingi, let me pick on Speaker Wetangula, if they want to, because of equity, they can join our Honorable Sifuna's wife, or my wife can go, I'm saying, even the president's wife can go to Pumwani and join our house girls. That is the health care, and that's why we say SHA has brought the element of equity. The choice is yours. You can go to Pumwani or you go to Aga Khan. Honorable Chair, the next question was, also it covers, as per the MOH guidelines, normal and cesarean deliveries, postnatal, and immunization for the newborn is also covered. Honorable Speaker, how do we compare this with NHIF? NHIF cover was limited to only antenatal care, postnatal care, deliveries. It also attracted co-appointment in the event of a complication of a mother and a baby, and it covered only normal and cesarean deliveries, with specific limits for private hospitals. It is good to note that that cover did not include immunization for the newborn. Honorable Speaker, moving on to renal care. SHA renal care includes the management of chronic or acute kidney failure, such as the 3 sessions of the hemodialysis for deserving patients, 2 sessions of these, and 2 others for the prenatal dialysis. This cover only includes the pre-transplant evaluation, dialysis, kidney transplant, post-transplant care, with set tariffs for each service. That's what SHA covers. Comparing this with the renal care under the NHIF, renal care was limited by sessions. 2 sessions covered per week, hence patients requiring 3 sessions and more were required to co-pay. Dialysis and kidney transplant had also set limits per sessions and a package payment for transplant. From the foregoing, Honorable Speaker and members, it's clear that SHA's renal care package, which is found on our website for all Kenyans to see, the benefits of SHA are open, they are public, they are in our website. Our renal care package is more detailed with specific tariffs and services, and they are tailored to a comprehensive patient care before and after the transplantation. I want to report, Honorable Speaker, with your permission, Kenyatta University Referral Hospital, which we are proud of, has done the first 2 kidney transplant 2 days ago. And a good one where there was no organ harvesting. Honorable Speaker, on mental health services. Mental health is an area that I think our country is not serious about it. And I want to make it a key priority for me under the Ministry of Health. But how does SHA covers, or what does it provide for mental health? SHA provides for comprehensive inpatient service in designated rehabilitation centers from the CAFE level 4 to 6. Additionally, services include mental health education, counseling, psychosocial support, and rehabilitation for those who use substance abuse and who suffer substance abuse disorders. Honorable Speaker, compared with the NHIF package attracted co-payment. They were not paying for anything to do with the mental health. They were asking you to pay. And it had limited coverage in specific contracted facilities for rehabilitation of drug and substance abuse. Honorable Chair, SHA mental health services are broader, they provide more holistic care, and they cover a wide range of mental health issues, both under outpatient and inpatient. Let me go to oncology services, which is very critical to our country. Honorable Speaker, under the oncology services, under SHA, the treatment will follow the treatment care plan prescribed by the oncologist in line with the National Cancer Control Program guidelines. So when we treat you, we still follow you with the post treatment plan. Comprehensive cancer care, including chemotherapy, radiotherapy, surgical intervention, and routine laboratory investigations with specific tariffs will be provided. Under the former NHIF, oncology services were limited in terms of amount and sessions and attracted co-payment. It also only covered radiotherapy and chemotherapy with set limits per session and per cycle. Honorable Speaker, SHA provides a more extensive oncology package with clear tariffs for various procedures, making cancer treatment more accessible and more predictable for our patients. On surgical services, under SHA, SHA will cover pre-operative, intraoperative, and post-operative care, including major and specialized surgeries, with set tariffs for each procedure type. Under the former NHIF, it only covered major, minor, and specialized surgeries, with set packages limits depending on the level of that hospital. The package also attracted a co-payment. To this end, Honorable Speaker, SHA surgical services are more detailed, more structured, providing clear guidelines and tariffs, which enhances transparency and accessibility for patients. On dental services, SHIF also covers dental services which include consultation, preventive and restorative treatments, such as extractions, scaling, and management, while NHIF dental services were only limited to tooth extraction. In this regard, dental services are more broader under SHA and includes a wide range of treatment. On the third one, on emergency, chronic, and critical illness fund, Honorable Speaker, under SHA covers medical and surgical procedures not available locally with a limit of 500,000 per person, whereas under NHIF, a similar coverage through reimbursement for overseas treatment up to 500,000 subject to approval was offered. SHA's structured approach with specific tariffs for different treatments shall ensure better planning and access to necessaries abroad. On emergency treatment, Honorable Speaker, SHA emergency treatment shall be accessible to all Kenyans. Under NHIF, emergency treatment was only accessible to be paid by NHIF members. SHA offers a more comprehensive cover. Critical services, SHA, the critical services include care for admission in intensive care unit, high HDU, and NCIU, unlike NHIF. And all this include even the band units. The critical services were not covered under NHIF. SHA offers critical care package, including specialized services and broader coverage which enhance the safety net for health conditions. Honorable Speaker, under SHA, that's emergency evaluation, SHA accidents. Under SHA, accidents and emergencies are paid for all Kenyan residents under the Emergency, Chronic, and Illness Fund. Under NHIF, emergency evaluation was limited to road ambulance service through contracted providers like Kenya Red Cross. Honorable Speaker, let me say this very clear, and many people don't know. And members have been aware that in the event you are walking in the streets and you get a stroke or you get an ailment, when you are rushed to a hospital, the first thing they used to ask you under the former NHIF was deposit. Under SHA, under the emergency, you are rushed to a hospital, that hospital will admit you, will treat you, and will release you out, and you don't pay anything. You even don't need to register. And I'm sure many members will agree with me that there are many Kenyans who die when the ambulance is going round looking for a cheap hospital that can take a lower deposit. These SHA benefits now for emergency, chronic, and critical illness fund will make sure that in any emergency, any hospital must admit, treat, and release that Kenya. And I want to assure this House that if any hospital will do contrary to what SHA provides and the law you have passed, I will have no other reason other than to close that facility. Honorable Speaker, in summary, I think the member has the key achievement of SHA benefits. These benefits are found in our websites. Kenya has made largest step in achieving of universal primary health care service for all Kenyans, and it's important to know that 70% of the health burden are at the primary care in nature. They are at our villages. They are in the rural part of Kenya. And that's why this House and government decided that the primary health care must be free. We have a comprehensive coverage. Under SHA, you have more inclusive, more detailed benefit package. It covers a wide range of medical conditions, procedures, and services compared to NHIF. The SHA structured tariffs, they are structured. SHA provides clear tariffs for various services. It has enhanced transparency and predictability for members when assessing the healthcare services. Number 4, Honorable Speaker, user-centric policy adjustment. SHA includes specific benefits and processes such as re-registration of members and structured penalties. Honorable Speaker, even if we are focusing more on preventive care. SHA emphasizes on preventive care, including health education, screening, early detection, aligning with the long-term health outcomes. We must, before we were dealing with the other aspect, but this time SHA says it's focusing on preventive. And then lastly, and second lastly, better access to specialized services. SHA gives you more specialized care options, such as mental health care services, oncology, renal, providing members with a better access. We are also have a comprehensive emergency and critical care. Honorable Speaker, on the question of the justification for the mandatory migration of NHIF contribution to SHA and any other measures put in place. Honorable Speaker, if you agree with me, when I was looking at this question, I asked myself, why should I answer? Because it is this House that created the law of Social Health Authority Act and Social Health Insurance. And in the transition clause, what you are doing, you are making NHIF redundant. So at that stage, you should have asked, why are we transiting? But because I have to answer questions before the House, I have to do it. Yes, I have to do it. But now that I am on this side, I think Honorable Jende should have, Senator Jende should have asked this question when we were passing the bill, and now which is an act. But Social Health Insurance Act repealed the National Health Insurance Fund. And with the repeal, all the obligation and assets of NHIF were moved to Social Health Authority, as provided for in the Social Health Insurance Act. And the effects of paragraph 2 and 3 of the first schedule to the Act 23 was to vest all its assets, rights, duties, and powers of NHIF in the authority, which assets include NHIF database. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, to ensure that timely and seamless access to health benefits of the beneficiaries of the defunct NHIF, the authority mandated through a legal notice number 147, published on 20th September 2024, for the transition of members of the National Health Insurance Fund, including our honorable members here, under the repealed NHIF Act. They all transited to Social Health Insurance Fund upon verification of their data by the authority using existing relevant database. Honorable Speaker, the information was transferred to ensure that all these members and their declared benefits can access benefits come 1st of October 2024. The transition of the information was in the interest of the members. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, Section 28(2) of the Data Protection Act provides that data may be collected indirectly from the data subject, where collections from another source could not be prejudiced in the interest of the data subject, where the collection data from another source is necessary. So, Honorable Speaker, if I go to the question that the Senator sought clarification on the measures put in place to guarantee comprehensive, year-round
CS, have you concluded with the 2 questions by agenda?
No.
Because of time, I would prefer that you move a little bit faster.
Honorable
Because we already
Speaker,
have the responses.
Honorable Speaker, you know the Senate.
And also, yes, I was actually having difficulty to follow your response because we don't have that additional information you're giving.
Honorable Speaker, this document I photocopied, I have signed, and I have given to the House, to the relevant House, to the Senate, and some members have.
Cabinet Secretary, I'm being informed. Cabinet Secretary, order, senators, order. Cabinet Secretary.
I can leave this also with the House.
Cabinet Secretary, I'm being informed that you actually signed this response that you have when you were in the House.
Yes.
So it has not been distributed. So what we'll do is we will stop where your response is, that the copy we have, and go to the supplementaries, and maybe that issue will come up.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators.
Honorable Speaker, for your guidance, and I abide by your ruling, the House has 3 different methods. The House can call me to a committee. The House can tell me to send a written statement to the clerk. And the House can tell me to come to the plenary. And now I've been told to come to the plenary, and it will be very unfair if you cut me short. And I'm not only talking to the senators, I am talking to the people of Kenya through you. If you allow me to finish the question, and then maybe I take the supplementary. I don't know whether the Senate is in a hurry, but me, I'm not in a hurry.
Cabinet Secretary, we are not in a hurry.
Yes.
We are just running out of time.
So,
and there are 2 more questions for you to reply to.
I can take the next 2, and then I can give.
Yes, and then
because I've covered a lot of the questions of Honorable Senator for Kisumu. I can give him this copy.
Yes.
And then I go to the other questions and the supplementary.
Let us do that, Cabinet Secretary. Thank you very much. Honorable Senators, we are going to take supplementary questions from Senator Ojenda. And Senator Ojenda, I think you had informed that Senator Muma will be taking one of your supplementary questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, because I'm a loyal member of my party, I have donated...
Senator Ojenda, just one moment. Take a seat, Senator Ojenda. Take a seat. Before your point of order, Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and students from Ithumale Secondary School in Makueni County. The delegation comprises 2 teachers and 48 students who are in the Senate for a 1-day academic exposure. In our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to our parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you. Yes, Senator Bodukalwale, what's your point of order?
Speaker, as you will notice, we are all straining to follow the proceedings. And Mr. Speaker, I've consulted the Sergeant at Arms. That noise you're hearing is from doctors, clinical officers, and other members of the Universal Healthcare, UHC. Mr. Speaker, could you resort to standing order number 1? You suspend the sitting for 5 minutes so that we can go and receive the memorandum. Hand over to the minister since he's now here. He has deliberately, Mr. Speaker, refused to talk to those doctors. And that's why they have strategically come when he's here, so that then we can hand over to him and interrogate. If need be, you order him to go and receive that. Both exits are blocked.
Senator.
Mr. Speaker, sir, before Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion.
Order, Senators, let's listen in silence.
Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, you recall on the 25th of June, that is how the National Assembly continued ignoring. As people pushed, they were continuing to vote. Let us respond to the public, hear them out, so that for the first time, we capture the minister for these members of staff who have found it impossible to get in.
Order, Senators, order. Order, Senators, we are running out of time. Senator Boni Kalwale, although you're raising a valid point, we are not voting on any matter today. You can ask your staff at your office to go and receive the memorandum, or you can go receive the memorandum and come and put the question to the CS here. So I will have to I will over... Senator, yes, Majority Leader. What's your point of order?
For 10 seconds, on an issue of procedure, Mr. Speaker, yesterday at SBC, we passed an agreement that whenever we are handling this session and we are pressed for time, we give priority first to members that initially drafted questions before supplementary questions. I wanted to request, given how much time is spent, that you kindly bear with us. Even previously with the other ministers, that's what the speaker, the substantive speaker did, that you allow the two members who had questions to finish their questions. The minister responds. If there is time left, Mr. Speaker, I would humbly plead that we do supplementary questions. And also, Mr. Speaker, I don't know who shared out my number, but I have more than 1,000 messages from UHC staff who want specific answers from the minister. It will be unfair if he leaves the House today before addressing himself on these issues of UHC. So I plead for your indulgence.
Thank you. Thank you. No point of orders. No point of orders. Senators. Senator Cheriot, I think we will proceed as you've requested. It will save us time because we're really running out of time. And I wish we would stop all these point of orders so that we can manage our time properly. So, Senator Ojienda, we are going to proceed to the next two questions, and then we'll take supplementary questions, all of them at the end.
Mr. Speaker, just on a point, may I then, I will assign my supplementary questions to the Senator for Vihiga for one question, Senator Muma, Senator Faki, and lastly, yes,
Senator Eddy, it's okay. Senator Sifuna, please ask your question.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Although the CS was saying he's not in a hurry, we need to remind him that he came late. And therefore, it is the reason why we are running out of time. And he knows the House rules that there is a time for the rising of this House. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask question number 32. Honorable CS, could you tell us why was the Edu Athia medical scheme, which provided comprehensive medical insurance for secondary school learners under the National Health Insurance Fund, discontinued under the current Social Health Insurance Fund program? And secondly, what are the reasons for the government's failure to provide last expense compensation for Mr. Elias Majau Muta, whose son, Master Robin Murimi Majau, a Form 3 student at Kibera Secondary School, passed away on 9th September 2022. Now, Honorable Speaker, I have looked at the response that the CS has given, and in the interest of time, maybe he can just be brief. And he has asked in the response that I provide certain documents. I would like your clarification or direction, Honorable Speaker, because I have those documents here with me, and I want to put them in the CS's hands. Yes. I don't know how that is going to happen, but I will await your direction.
What's your point of order, Senator Eddy?
Madam Speaker, I'm raising understanding order 101, Madam Speaker. I mean 101 and standing order number 1, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, what Senator Boni Alwale has brought in this House, Madam Speaker, and requested your chairpersonship to rule on is a critically important one, Madam Speaker. As we are speaking right now, Madam Speaker, the healthcare structure is all in disarray with these strikes, Madam Speaker, because of the UHC strikes, Madam Speaker. If they are outside here, Madam Speaker, and this House, we make decisions as senators, Madam Speaker, we are requesting that you adjourn the House for 5 minutes. We go and get those petitions by UHC, Madam Speaker. The strike is going on. Healthcare is crippled, Madam Speaker. They're not being responded to.
Senator Eddy,
the health minister is here, Madam Speaker.
Senator Eddy, please sit down.
Why can't we just adjourn for 5 minutes we make the
Senator Eddy, please sit down. Order. What you're raising was raised by Senator Halwale, and the Speaker on the chair actually made a ruling on that. Senator Eddy, please sit down. It is my decision that we finish the questions and then we will do this. Please sit down. No.
Can I invite the CS to answer the question?
Honorable Speaker, I did not send the UHT staff here. I met them
Order
last week.
CS, can
Yes.
you answer the question, please?
Yeah, I met them last week, and they're here because the
Order
budget is
CS,
making...
can you answer the question?
And I'll be very happy to receive the petition. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Senator for Nairobi. The second question, I think we are done. Give me, I can answer, but give me the documents. But let me just, for record and for
Honorable
the answer.
CS, order Honorable CS, you are now doing my job. The member requested that I give him an opportunity, now you're answering on that. Can you just answer the question? Thank you.
I am exactly doing that. I am answering the question number 033 and 034 by the member for the Senator for Nairobi, Honorable Madam Speaker. The Minister of Education engaged the former National Hospital Insurance Fund to provide a comprehensive medical insurance cover for all students in public secondary schools. This scheme was branded Edu Afia, commenced on 1st of May 2018, and was renewable annually for a period of 5 years, lapsing 31st of December. Honorable Speaker, this scheme was rolled out through the National Education Information System, NEMIS. There are several challenges that were found in that system. Fraud, misuse, double payment were made to health institutions arising from a single treatment. And if the Senator wants those information, I can provide the names and the institutions. As such, it was found to be unsustainable, and the government resolved to reconsolidate all these special schemes into one, the Social Health Authority benefit package. Therefore, Honorable Speaker and Senators, the consolidation of the Edu Afia scheme with all the schemes that were managed by the defined NHIF is geared at implementing the right to the highest attainable standards for all Kenyans, and further, the right of the child as envisaged under Article 53, Sub-Article 1C of the Constitution of Kenya, as read together with Section 16 of the Children's Act, which guarantees every child shall have the right to the highest attainable standard of healthcare services in our country. Honorable Speaker, under SHA, students belong to our household, and therefore they're eligible to benefit from the three funds. Honorable Speaker, on the last part of the question by the Honorable Senator for Nairobi, on Mr. Elios Majau Mlimuta, whose son, Master Robin Murimi Majau, a Form 4 student at Kibera Secondary School, passed away on the 9th of September 2022. May his soul rest in peace. The response is this. The comprehensive medical scheme for students in public secondary schools included a group life, the last experience cover in the case of the demise of the student. To access the benefit, the learner's next of kin was required to fill the last expenses and group life cover claim form, which were available from the school. The duly filed claim form was to be submitted to the Ministry of Education, sub-county, and county offices, which upon verification be forwarded to the Ministry of Education headquarters for second verification, and then forwarded to the defunct NHIF. And I wish to state that SHA, in consultation with the Ministry of Education, have gone through the list of the claims submitted during the 5-year contract period they had, and have not traced the mentioned claim. And I really want, because I don't want to give the benefit just to government, I want the Honorable Senator for Nairobi, in terms of the proposed way forward on this matter, I request Honorable Sifuna to provide the specific details, including the name of the full of the students, the student's name is number, the student's death certificate and burial permit, and the parent's contact, and I will follow up correct guidance on the last expenses claim process with the school and the parent and next of kin. I will do that, and I will bring an answer. I mean, I think I am obligated to do that. Senator, if you provide me with those I have asked for,
Honorable Senator for Nairobi, you can actually come and provide. In terms of protection of the rights of the child, you may not read the particulars of the child. I hope you know that.
Yes,
and that
I
you
understand
can hand
that.
over physically to the...
I understand that, Honorable Speaker. Just for the record, the entire process for the processing of the claim was followed, except the county director has refused to sign the certification by the county director for over a year. So I have the form here that has the details, including the name of the child, the name of the parents, and the contact of the parents. I have the form which they filled for the claim. I have the ID of the parent. I have a letter from the school. I have the certificate of death and indeed the permit for burial. Honorable Speaker, I wish that I table this so that the CS can receive it.
Please table it.
Thank you.
And Secretariat hand it over to the CS. Senator Manzo for the next question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is my question to the Cabinet Secretary. A, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a detailed breakdown of the management and utilization of the Tobacco Control Fund, specifically outlining how funds have been received and allocated as stipulated by Section 7 of the Tobacco Control Act 2007. B, could the Cabinet Secretary provide information on the measures the Ministry has put in place to improve transparency and accountability in the administration of the Tobacco Control Fund, and how it plans to address the recent assessments indicating insufficient progress in advancing tobacco control efforts in Kenya in light of the influx of oral nicotine pouches, e-cigarettes, and such other products targeting the youth and children. C, in light of the 2015 court case under petition number 143 on the constitutionality of the tobacco control regulations, could the Cabinet Secretary provide details on how the Ministry has ensured compliance with the regulations, particularly regarding the solatium contribution from tobacco manufacturers and importers? And D, how is tobacco control being coordinated with the Ministry and across the country, especially in the context of devolution, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, with your kind permission, the answer was not in the bigger pile of answers which came in earlier. And while here, I've just seen annexures which have come out, but I'm ready to be guided by you, the Speaker, and the Cabinet Secretary. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Cabinet Secretary.
Madam Speaker, let me on the onset say this is a very complex matter, and it's a matter I am dealing with, and it has many faces. So if the House will not be very happy with the answer I have been provided, I am ready and willing to come back next week, because my conscience is 50-50, so this House will help me. But let me just read what the ministry officials have given me. There are many, many issues I'm being asked outside there on this tobacco thing. Honorable Chair, the Ministry through the State Department of Public Health and Professional Studies oversees the regulations of tobacco products as stipulated in the TCA Act of 2007 and tobacco regulations of 2014, which is implemented by a body called Tobacco Control Board and the Division of Drug and Substance Control within the Ministry of Health. The Tobacco Control Fund, known as TCF, was established under Section 7 of the Tobacco Control Act, as the member have said. It's financed through parliamentary appropriation, forfeited properties, voluntary contribution, and mandatory solutium contribution from tobacco importers and manufacturers in our country in order to facilitate tobacco control initiatives, including research. The fund resources are supposed to be used for research, for public awareness campaign, for cessation programs, for enforcement activity. Currently, the solutium contribution remains the primary funding source, while efforts are ongoing to explore and implement additional funding streams. The fund is administered by the accounting officer or appointed official pursuant to Section 8 of the Act, and that is to ensure efficient allocation and utilization of resources. According to the records, in the financial year 2024-2025, an allocation of 831 million has been approved, and the annex is what we have provided for supporting the following key activities, both recurrent and development. There is a capacity building and nationwide public awareness. There is ongoing research application calls to inform evidence-based. There is the formulation of the monetary and evaluation framework. There is the establishment of the treatment and rehabilitation of centers in the 10 most affected counties: Nairobi, Nakuru, Mombasa, Laikipia, Kakamega, Eldoret, Meru, Machakos, Kisumu, and Kericho. There is the element of sensitizing healthcare workers and provide health product technologies, meanwhile as the process of tendering the putting of the infrastructure. These funds are also to be used to review the Tobacco Control Act. I am aware that a draft amendment bill is under the stakeholder validation. There is execution of the surveillance and enforcement, including multi-agency raids on shisha dens and successful prosecution. And Madam Speaker, I think, let me be very candid. I think Parliament must define what is multi-agency. This multi-agency thing, even when I was the leader of majority, is abused. It must be defined in law. Somebody just sits somewhere, he picks few, 5, 10 people from different agencies, and he tells you multi-agency. No, I think this country can do better. So Parliament must define what multi-agency is. Multi-agency is important, is key, particularly in the security sector. And the ones in the security sector have been defined. But you know, you can't walk to Ministry of Health or Ministry of Education and you say, on this matter, we will have a multi-agency. No. I think Parliament is the powers of lawmaking. We must define what multi-agency is. Otherwise, multi-agency is not in law. I mean, it's not been there. Nobody can tell me it's in that act. And this multi-agency thing started during the time of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I think it should not. Parliament must talk about it. There are areas like the security sector.
Okay, I thought you might want to bring it into your supplementary question. Okay, proceed.
To get to that, Madam Speaker, it is good that the Cabinet Secretary was very honest with what he said, and as I sit here, and as I present, Madam Speaker, documents are still coming to me, of which I need time to go through.
Senator Manzo, please sit down. That is, what we are doing is unprocedural. Let the CS finish, and then if you have anything additional, you will bring it into your supplementary. CS, have you finished? Please finish.
Chair, that's why I said this thing of tobacco is very complicated. So what are the measures that are used for transparency and accountability? To enhance transparency and accountability, the Management Tobacco Control Fund, the Minister has developed an operational manual guideline in 2022 and audits are conducted as per the Public Audit Act. Chair, let me not lie to this House, and I agree with the Honourable Member. I have not seen these guidelines. You know, I have not seen these guidelines. And I want to go unanswered. And then in terms of the dedicated Tobacco Control Fund Implementation Secretariat, it manages the day-to-day operations, maintains financial records, and ensures regular reporting too. But I think the House should not worry because I am on it this thing. It will either straighten up or it will fold. It cannot be business as usual. It's one of the things which are on my table. Many things, including a letter from the DCI on inspection. So I'm studying that. But because I had to come to the House, I had to find a way. So I'll talk to my PS and the people concerned, and we must speak to the people of Kenya on what is going on.
Honorable CS, can you just hold on for 1 minute?
So I will.
Honorable CS.
Chair, can I ask you?
I'm just requesting you give me 1 minute. Sit down first. Honorable Senators, in view of the interest by senators in the matters currently under consideration, I direct that the Senate extends today's sitting for no more than 15 minutes pursuant to Standing Order 34-2A. Proceed, CS.
So, Chair, I think this, I will ask you, Chair, that this tobacco thing, with the analysis of the member who asked me, I be given more time to find out and even come with the Auditor General's report on this fund and all the story behind it, because even me, I have not really digested and internalized this thing, and I don't want to cheat the House because I am unanswered. Tomorrow the same House can hold me to account. If I seek the approval of this House, I will be told I have said this and this. So can we, with the indulgence, can we step down this tobacco thing? I can still ask, if the members want to ask questions, I can take the notes, but I think this tobacco thing, I need to find out what's
Thank you, CS, for being so frank. And in fact, a member was going to ask for some annexures that you've not brought. Members, I suggest that this is a serious issue. We step down that question and allow the CS to provide a comprehensive response. In this House, CS, you'll want to know that I think even before the House, there is a bill that deals with tobacco control. So I think the House would want majority.
Speaker, I beg your indulgence because I have additional request still on this tobacco issue to the Minister, and there's something that he has alluded to. This, can I just make it as a request so that as he brings additional information to the House,
That is fine. That is fine, your majority leader.
There is something is not right at the Tobacco Control Board, and I'd wish that the Minister listens keenly to this request. And I like the fact, Madam Speaker, that the Minister has actually alluded and spoken on this thing called the multi-agency. As representatives of the people, we sometimes come into contact with information that is useful for Cabinet Secretary to know. I know for a fact that there is a certain dispute that exists presently before a tobacco importing company and this board. A company that went through all the legal procedures, paid their taxes, then somehow one day, one afternoon, this so-called multi-agency that the minister is speaking to show up at their warehouse, confiscate goods, goes to the Department of Public Health, falsifies documentation and claims that there is some drug and substance that is in the products that this company had imported. Therefore, putting into question so many other agencies that had prior approved those products to be on the shelves of this republic. That matter has been investigated by the DCI. I am aware that they have filed a response back to the ministry, and they have confirmed that that multi-agency actually misled the country. I would wish that when the minister comes back to this house, they bring the findings of the DCI with them and tell us what will be done to those officers that led this kind of cartel-like operations where we can use government agencies to falsify records on health matters. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for indulging me.
Secretariat, I direct that this question be rescheduled with all the aspects that have been raised by the members. We now move on to the supplementary questions by those who submitted the questions. Senator Manzo, do you have a supplementary question? Oh, no, you are, sorry. Yours is not there. So I don't see Senator Sifuna, neither do I see Senator Ojenda had actually delegated to Osotsi Faki, Senator Faki.
Asante, Bi Speaker. Waziri, asante kwa ujio wako asubuhi ya leo. Na swala langu ni kuhusiana na malipo ya SHA. Kwamba inakuwaje wakati mgonjwa kwa mfano anafanya operation, SHA inasisitiza kwamba lazima alipe malipo ya zaidi ya miaka 2 ndio aweze kupata huduma ambayo anahitajika kupata, either ya operation ama ya kulazwa kwa matibabu fulani ambayo ni ya kitaalamu. Hiyo imeweza kufanyika kwa sababu nimepata malalamiko mengi kutoka kwa wananchi kwamba wanalazimishwa kulipa zile subscriptions za mpaka miaka 2 na nusu ndio waweze kupata huduma hiyo kutoka kwa hospitali zao. Asante, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
We'll ask a number before you answer, CS. Senator Oruoba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have a concern, a question about Linda Mama. Waziri, I know you mentioned and elaborated about how Linda Mama has been absorbed into the bigger cover. Waziri, I've had the privilege, or is it the advantage, of being pregnant in this particular transition. And I don't know whether you know that that comprehensive cover that you are saying is there for Linda Mama, or that covers prenatal and postnatal, actually doesn't exist in totality. Waziri, I'm not sure if you are aware that some of the prenatal services that you have quoted are not given under that comprehensive cover. For instance, scans are not covered. A pregnant woman requires a minimum of 2 scans before they give birth. That is not covered in the cover that you are talking about. Also, when you have postnatal, and my question is...
No, you only ask one question, please. Can we move to the next person? The next
but
person is
Madam Speaker, unless you are going to answer the question, you are going to ask the question. I've not asked it.
You are supposed to ask a question.
I have not asked it.
You have asked.
I have not asked the question. Madam Speaker, allow me to ask the question.
Okay, proceed.
My question is, Waziri, my question is, have you actually given a service charter under this comprehensive prenatal and postnatal care so that we can be able to tell you, those of us who have been pregnant, which services are being given and which services are not being given? So that is my question to you, Waziri.
Yes, yeah. Order, Senator Oruoba, please. Senator A.
Madam Speaker, my supplementary question is pretty much interlinked with the first question that was asked by Senator Sifuna, and is on the UHC workers, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, my question is very simple, but I don't want wounding answers from the CS, because the question is, what is the CS doing to resolve this crisis and strike that we are seeing with the UHC workers in the context, because in the context of, number one, making sure that if the CHC workers are going to be transferred to counties, there is harmony of them being put into the payroll nationally the same way we have seen with community healthcare workers on the portion that the government takes care of. And number two of that part...
only one question.
It's
Senator
one question.
Eddy, please. Senator Eddy, please sit down.
Madam Speaker, allow me just...
Senator Eddy, I have ruled. Please sit down. No, it is one question, and you have asked it. Senator Miraj, please. Okay, proceed.
I beg your indulgence because the reason why they're striking is very important. The second part of this, Madam Speaker, is that there is budgeting process going on right now for these UHCs. Why they are rioting is because...
Please ask a question.
So the question
Don't
is
explain.
the CS going to make sure that they are put into a permanent and pensionable program in this budgeting cycle? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Miraj.
Asante Bi Speaker. Swali langu kwa waziri litakwenda moja kwa moja kama mkaazi wa gatuzi ya Mombasa. Tuko na faraja ya kwamba sisi tuko na referral hospital ya Coast General. Lakini tatizo ambalo linaendelea pale kwenye hospitali yetu, bwana waziri, ni kwamba wagonjwa wananyimwa huduma. Wananyimwa huduma hivi ya kwamba wanapofika wanaulizwa maswala ya kwamba kama
Senator Miraj, ask a question, please.
Si ndo najieleza, tafadhali.
Uliza tafadhali.
Swali langu ni kwamba kuna ushirikiano gani wa karibu baina ya wizara na gatuzi ya Mombasa, kwa sababu anayepeana huduma pale CEO anasema ya kwamba hamupeani pesa za SHA wanapotibu wagonjwa. Kwa hivyo wagonjwa ambao wana uwezo wanalipishwa pesa zaidi. Bill zimekuwa kubwa, radiotherapy haifanyi. Yani Mombasa, waziri, kama ingewezekana, mimi kama mwakilishi kutoka kule, naomba ufike Coast General. Maafa yamekuwa mingi, hakuna manasi. So
you have asked the question. You have asked the question. Now you are
ushirikiano gani wa karibu?
Order, Senator Miraj. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and students from Kiburu Boys High School. Order, Senator. A boys' high school in Kirinyaga County. The delegation comprises 3 teachers and 49 students who are in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you very much. Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ask my question. And I first of all start by congratulating Honorable CS for coming and appearing before this Senate, because many of the times people are called, CSs are called and they don't appear. Honorable CS, my question is, what are you going to do about networks in the hospitals? Because this SHA registration is really a big problem. People
Senator
are waiting
Kavindu,
for
I
it.
would like you to ask a question, please. Ask the
Sindio?
question.
Sinauliza swali, siungoje.
Senator-
Sasa tutaharibu wakati. Uwacha nimalize.
Senator, please follow the rules. Just ask the question.
Yeah, the question is, patients are staying at the hospitals from morning to evening until the next day, being told that they cannot be treated because they cannot access SHA. So, and again, Honorable CS, you said that SHA is free. These patients are charged 500 to be able to register in hospitals. And
Senator Kavindu, you have not asked any question. And your time is over.
Nimesema bwana
Senator,
Madam,
be consistent in the...
Nimeuliza atafanya nini kuhusu network za SHA, maana hazifanyi kazi. Hiyo si swali.
Now you have asked the question.
Nimeuliza hivyo hivyo.
Senator
Ama
Kavindu,
Kiswahili ndio inaingia.
Senator Kavindu,
Aya,
order.
wacha basi niulize.
Order. No. Senator, can we move on to
Na
the
watu
next senator?
wanalipishwa 500 kuregister SHA.
Senator
alafu
Mandago, please. Senator Kavindu, please respect the chair.
Madam Speaker, before I ask my supplementary question, allow me to table in the floor and the table of the Senate a petition. Madam Speaker, allow me to table in a petition by UAC staff, Madam Speaker, on the issue of confirmation.
Order, Senators, let's listen, please.
On the issue of confirmation of UAC staff. This is a memorandum of objection of the resolution made by the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors on universal health coverage staff, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, by way of memorandum, we wish to bring to attention the grave violations of administrative injustice.
Order, Senator Mandago. This is question time. It's not time for tabling petition. You will use the normal process for tabling the petition. I now want to invite the CS to respond to the questions.
Then
please.
allow me to ask my question. Madam
Okay,
Speaker.
ask a question if you have a question.
Madam Speaker, I would like to know from the Cabinet Secretary whether in his budget-making process proposal he included the funds for confirmation of UAC staff
That's a
in
good.
counties.
That's
Madam
a question
Speaker.
now.
And Madam Speaker, now that you have ruled, make sure before we leave this house, you also address those members of UAC, plus the Cabinet Secretary.
Senator Halwade, a question, Senator Halwade.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the foundation, backbone, and engine of the success of SHA, SHIF, UHC is the human resource. Mr. Speaker, I rise.
Madam Speaker, not
Madam
Mr.
Speaker.
Yeah.
Under the provisions of our Standing Order 51C, 6C, that the minister be allowed to make a statement on this issue of women resource, because as we speak now, Mr. Speaker, in Kakamega, the doctors are not in hospital, and 17 other counties, doctors are on strike. And Kakamega is special, Mr. Speaker, and Machakos, Madam Speaker, because those two hospitals, they are used as centers for training intern medical officers. These intern medical officers have missed out in their program a whole 4 weeks. It's going to affect their qualification as doctors. Could the minister address this issue now?
Honorable Senators, questions have been asked by members, and we have hardly, we have 17 minutes to go. So my view is that we allow the CS to answer. Now you're making it difficult for what Senator Halwade is asking to be accommodated. No, if you ask, then what Senator Halwade wants to do cannot be accommodated. So okay, I'll then make the ruling that we use this time for the question time, Senator Halwade, and the CS, when the CS comes back, one of the things he must do is to address it. Senator Eddy, I have ruled. I have ruled. You cannot have your cake and eat it. I have ruled. Senator Beatrice.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is straightforward, Madam Speaker. Bwana CS, with the establishment of the 3 health funds under SHA, how do you ensure that patients will not be lining up at chemists to look for drugs that have been prescribed in hospitals? Because that has been a big problem. We see women lining up with children from hospitals. They are not able to get drugs in hospitals, and so they have to go and procure drugs
Senator,
outside.
you
How
have asked
does
your
this
question.
address this problem?
You have asked a question. Senator Dulo.
Thank you, Speaker. Waziri, there are some dispensaries within our counties that have stalled under equalization fund. I have 2 of them in my county, one called Akadeli and one called Shambani. Those dispensaries were constructed way back in 2019. Even after the ruling of the court case to pay the contractors, I'm asking. Waziri, those dispensaries are vandalized and the counties are passing back to the national government. Are you aware of the same? Thank you.
Senator, what is your point of order, Senator Eddie?
Madam Speaker,
what is the issue?
Understand order 1, Madam Speaker. I'm just requesting you that I understand the sensitivity of time, and there are so many questions that have been asked. Through your honor, Madam Speaker, may we postpone all those other questions, but the CS answers
Senator
the question
Eddie,
of
please sit down. Senator Eddie, I have ruled on that question. I have ruled on that question.
I'm not overruling you, Madam Speaker. I'm just
Senator Eddie, sit down. You're actually being a nuisance. Senator Cherargei, 1 minute. Order, Senator Oroba. You are not co-chairing with me.
Madam Speaker, if they continue disturbing you, invoke 122. But standing 122. Madam Speaker, could I ask the Cabinet Secretary?
Senator Eddie, can the Sergeant at Arms escort Senator Eddie out?
Madam Speaker, can I ask? Can I ask the
Proceed,
question?
Senator.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Could I ask?
Order, Senator Eddie. Order, Senator Eddie.
Could I ask the Cabinet Secretary that in light with the court's decision that the verification committee that he formed was unconstitutional and illegal, how is he going to ensure verification of NHIF pending bills and ensure, Madam Speaker, we have both verifiable and unverifiable under NHIF? Because I told Waziri when he appeared that under Article 229 of the Constitution, the Office of the Auditor General should be the one verifying the pending bills. What is his options on the table? And I gave him for free. I didn't even charge him. It was
Senator Cherargei, please sit down. Before the minister answers, Senator Eddie, please withdraw from the House. Senator Eddie, please withdraw from the House. Sergeant at Arms, pursuant to... Sergeant at Arms, please assist in withdrawing Senator Eddie from the House. CS, can you answer the question?
Thank you.
Order, senators, please. Order, senators. Order, Senator Eddie. Honorable senators, pursuant to Standing Order 121, I cite you for disorderly conduct, and I have cited you for disorderly conduct. Senator Eddie, I have directed that you leave the House. The Sergeant at Arms may now proceed to move him out. Senator Eddie, I have directed that you withdraw from the House. Sergeant at Arms, we will not proceed unless you actually escort Senator Eddy out. Please do not defy the chair. Eddy, I am ordering that I'm directing that you withdraw for the remainder of this sitting, please. All the members who are around Eddy, please go take your seats. Take back your seats. Senator Beatrice, Senator Gloria, please go take your seats. Senator Beatrice, Senator Gloria, Senator Kavindu, please take your seats. Senator Korir, what's your point of order? Senator Korir, is your point of order still relevant? Can we listen to the CS, please? Please, let's listen to the CS. CS, please.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Senator from Mombasa, Bofaki, I want to assure you that there are no prepayment of 2 years. The SHA Act promotes,
Order, Senators,
provides for 1 year annual payment for informal sector. However, currently, Kenyans who are registering are only paying monthly premiums. On Honorable Senator Fosiolo, we shall engage with the National Treasury and we shall engage with the county governments. Equalization Fund is administered outside my ministry. It's under the National Treasury. It has a secretariat. It is members of parliament, leaders who choose what to do. But I think I will contact the National Treasury and the Council of Governors. Honorable Gloria, there are many, they are covered, in fact. And if you look at the comprehensively, what I have tabled today, you will see it. But further, you need to look at the tariffs of the healthcare service, which was, no, I'm telling you, you need to look at the healthcare service where there was a legal notice number 556 of 225 as gazetted, and it provides for a complete cover. So you go to the benefits. Maybe the facility you went to played a games on it. On Mombasa, Coast General Hospital, on, yes, get us and the date and everything, and we'll ask him. On Coast General Hospital, let me first thank the governor of Mombasa. That county is leading in terms of SHA registration at 58. And we must thank him. He has, the person second to him is like the numbers between the numbers for Liverpool and Arsenal. The difference is 10. So that is how he's ahead of the pack. But on SHA pays all approved claims by the 14th of every month. And I will give you the figure. As of today, 228.37 million have been paid since SHA came into place in October. If the claims are not verified, and the governor knows, he talks to his people, I have sent him the bills, he has verified, and he is very comfortable. And tomorrow, in fact, he'll be in Nairobi. He will sit with our team on digital health to make sure that his system works seamlessly. Senator Kavindu, SHA registration is seamless. You can use the USDD, can use your phone, *147#. You can use the community health promoters. If they are teenage mothers, which we have a number, we are giving them temporary cards. So it's very seamless. Nobody should. Unlike NHIF, where you need, after you register, you wait for 2 months. SHA is as you go to the hospital, if you register, the system picks you. The only system-related issues, and then if you have any system-related issues, then you call our call center, which is 147, and is available 24/7. And the call receiving is at 0. It was 2 minutes. Now, once you call, in fact, very soon we will call back Kenyans to ask you, why did you call and you dropped the call? That's how it is. I think there was a question on the fund by Senator Beatrice on the 3 fund under SHA. And the KEMSA, do we have drugs? I want to assure this House that KEMSA is undergoing a reform, recapitalization. Through the private sector, we are putting about 10 billion to increase their fill rate to 100%. So drugs are available at the last mile. On the doctors in Kakamega and many other places, as Honorable Khalwale was asking this question, I texted the governor of Kakamega. Whether it is true or false, I told him to send me the agreement he has signed with the doctors. He is yet to send me, but he said, I have resolved. There are about 18 counties where doctors have issues, and I have agreed with the union when I was in Mombasa that those issues must be resolved. Kiambu is one of them. And I'm talking to the governors that we resolve. The main issue is on promotion. Consultants, senior doctors have stagnated for a long. But as you know, health is devolved. There is a committee on health here, chaired by by Honorable Senator Mandago. There is a committee on devolution by the Senator of Wajir. I think you'll do much better if you deal with this matter. But on the matter of UHC, Honorable Chair, lastly, the people out there were with me. We have signed an agreement with them. And I am not budging back from that agreement. Because when leaders agree with you, an Honorable Senator, with a light touch, Honorable Cherargei, I will come to answer his question. He's looking at me. It's the last one. But UHC, I've answered you as you are talking to somebody. Honorable Senator. I started with you as I said, Equalization Fund is under the National Treasury. There is a secretariat. It's members of parliament who
Yes, you have under a minute.
Yes, so I have answered that question. So on UHC, the question is budget. Who makes a budget? The budget is made by parliament. I told them, leave my door, come to parliament. Today, this week is a budget making process. You deal with the division of revenue bill, you deal with the county revenue allocation. I'm sure you'll add some money to the counties. Please do me a favor, cut some money, give to UHC. I will pay them. I am struggling. And finally, Honorable Cherargei.
Yes, Senator Kavindu as well says you have not answered her question.
I have answered her question. Maybe she was not hearing.
He has 1 minute. Let him finish.
But let me answer the question of Honorable Cherargei first. And Honorable Chair, as a good friend of mine, he's the last person I will take advice from. He's the last person. I will never take the advice of Honorable Cherargei. Because if I take, I will not even cross the road. But on the pending bills, by law I have established, Kenyans have the right to go to court. They have gone to court. Those who claim those bills, they have to wait until the court makes a determination. I mean, one arm of government has done its job. Another arm of government has injected
Senator Kavindu, quickly.
Senator Kavindu, maybe I can listen to.
No, the question, just say what he didn't answer.
No, Madam Speaker, my question was, registration ya SHA haifanyi kazi. Na hiyo registration ya SHA, the details Honorable CS unanipatia hapa, ingepatiana huko ground ndio watu wajue watafanya nini wakienda huko, si hapa.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Senators, having concluded the business for which I extended the day's sitting, the Senate stands adjourned until later today at 2:30 p.m.